Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Larry Farber, and let's queer up South Florida and Florida. Florida school denies trans graduate his chosen name. A Florida school district is under fire for refusing to honor a transgender student's chosen name at his high school graduation. Charline Barger says her son, a student at Escambia Virtual Academy, is set to graduate on May 27th. The school is in conservative Florida Panhandle and Pensacola. This is the same congressional district of former Congressman Matt Gaetz. Yes.
Yikes.
School officials have insisted on using his dead name, the name assigned to him at birth, despite Barger's request to respect his true identity. When Barger approached the school's director, Lisa Morgan, asking them to use her son's affirmed name, she was told it would violate district policy and be, quote, a big hassle, end quote, claiming other students might want to use inappropriate nicknames. Escambia County Superintendent Keith Leonard defended the decision, saying, quote, it's been our practice to announce fully legal names as they appear on birth certificates and diplomas at commencement ceremonies, end quote. But Barger has pushed back, saying, quote, he has been referred to by his chosen name by administrators, teachers, and students at the school for 3 years. It may seem like a small moment to those calling the names, but for those students on the stage, it's everything, end quote. The mother added, quote, it's about a student standing tall, hearing their name called, and walking proudly across that stage. To deny that moment is to deny their identity, end quote. This decision comes as Florida continues to pass anti-trans legislation, including bans on gender affirming sports participation and changes to passport gender markers for the LGBTQ community. Moments like these are not small. They are everything. And Queer News Tonight continues to ask, why does this always seem to be Florida? Well, I don't know. I'm an ex-New Jerseyan. I've been here almost 6 years here in Florida. I used to make New Jersey jokes. Now I'm here and they're getting jokes in Florida. But unfortunately, you see behavior like this, and as a trans ally and a supporter of a trans women-owned production company and staunch supporter in the community, this type of thing is just crazy. How can you compare kids' nicknames that would be inappropriate? That's the whole point of controlling a school, having control over what's going on and respecting people's identities.
But I will say this. I mean, I do not support the school district's decision at all, but I believe that the school district's hands are tied. I believe that it is now mandatory in Florida for trans people to put a name with their dead names, because you cannot change your name you cannot use your chosen name due to the fact that Ron DeSantis and the Republicans have basically want to erase anyone who is trans. So I understand the school's position. They might have an uphill battle to climb, and obviously they don't want to lose funding. If Ron DeSantis heard about it and decided to slash the county school, public school funding by whatever and give it to religious charter schools.
A diploma is not a legal document. It's the recognition. You can't get it in an airplane. You can't use it to buy alcohol. It's a name. Person's chosen name should be on there. I actually went by the nickname RJ for a long time. I had a job at Port Everglades that had high security clearance. I had to stop using the RJ as a nickname. It doesn't make a difference. The name I have, Robert, is my real name. My girlfriend's name is Carvel. I'm glad she was born with that name, so she doesn't have to worry about that stuff. But I know people who have that mark or were concerned about changing their name. There's a reason it's a dead name. The person no longer exists. The person's transitioning, they transition to a whole new person. We celebrate the beauty of the person as they are. What's on their birth certificate is not who they are anymore.
No, as someone who's been a substitute teacher, my parents have been teachers, my first question on this is, I don't think it's about the stuff that you're bringing up, Bobby. I think they literally they put the legal name on the diploma, and they don't want to deal with the logistics of having the name on the diploma be different than the name they call out. Or when you say, well, we can make an exception for trans students, like, I think it's possible to make an exception for trans students, but at the same time, it's like schools really can't say yes to one student and say no to another for no reason, and that's a legitimate part of this argument. But like, my bigger question of all this is, I'm glad that they have not been dead naming him in school for the last 3 years, but that also makes me ask, why haven't the family started moving forward on changing the legal name? Because like, how are you going to handle the logistics of applying for college? Because the transcripts has to match the name on the FAFSA and the federal like student loan stuff and applying. So like your diploma can't be different than what you're submitting to the school. That's college.
Can you even
so what
change? Can you even change your name?
You can change your legal name in Florida. It's a court proceeding, and you do need to be fingerprinted. But if you want,
it can be done.
It can be done.
I work with that a lot.
And normally I would say, you know, if they transitioned in the last year, I'd say it's a little different. You know, maybe the school could make an exception. But if this has been known for 3 years, like once going to college, there's also going to be an issue for legal documents. I'm imagining the students at the age where they have a driver's license, what name is on their driver's license? Shouldn't they be able to have the name that they want on their driver's license as their legal name? And, you know, if they're under 18, it's their parents' responsibility to get the name changed.
Well,
In fact, from another point of view I have is name changes, biblical. Conservatives are very biblical. Saul's name was changed to Peter. And that name stuck. It became St. Peter. So, upon my rock I will build his church. When Jesus said that. So Jesus changed names and it stuck.
Well,
let's keep it that way.
Wherever the young man is going to go, I hope that he is going to college in a nice blue state where he can actually live his authentic self, get the gender changes on his driver's license in that state, and leave Florida behind. Now, that is a big LGBTQ story for today. There's no other queer nonprofit media platforms like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.